The Detroit Lions have done what we all wanted the Detroit Lions to do, what we've all been calling for the last 2 months, from the first time we saw this guy make a 64-yard kick. But I have to put some water on this fire just a little bit, because is this an exciting moment that we got the kicker we all wanted? Yes, kicker. And yes, I am going to talk about kickers for a video. We got more. I'm going to talk about things other than just kickers. We poached somebody from the Cardinals, which is a really good move. Second time we've done it, by the way. But anyways, we're sitting here. We get the kicker, and everybody's wanting us to do it. He picked us over 2 other teams that interviewed him, but now we have 3 kickers on the roster. All right, we have Badgley, we've got Bates, and we've got Turner. Turner is the kicker that was at U of M, national championship team. He kicked really, really good during OTAs and minicamp. Badgley was good, but he lacks, and you wonder, what does that long distance range look like for him? This is very interesting to me on the Lions taking on signing Bates. So not only did we sign him, but we signed him to a 2-year deal. All right, so Adam Schefter reported that UFL kicker Jake Bates is signing a 2-year deal this week with the Detroit Lions per his agent. All right, Bates visited the Lions, Packers, and Commanders and opted to stay in Michigan, where he kicked in the UFL. His longest field goal this season was from 64. He did a lot of kicks over 60. But here's the other thing we have to understand. Maybe we gave him that 2-year deal because other teams were willing to give him 1, but not 2. So he wanted to see some stuff in that. But here's the thing that's interesting to me. Yes, he's only 24. Yes, he had a 64 and 62-yard field goal. He did. But he barely even kicked in college. He was a kickoff specialist. And he did kick a little bit. He was a soccer player, like all those things like that. All right? We understand that. But he ended the year not doing so well. All right, as you can see here, for the rest of the season, Bates continued to display incredible length strength and solid accuracy. He would finish the regular season 17 of 22 on field goals, with only 1 of those 5 misses coming short of 50 yards. He was named to the All-UFL team as well. So question, if a kicker comes in here and goes 17 of 22, are you going to be happy with it? Are you going to be happy if 17 out of 22? Maybe your answer is yes, because he can kick from anywhere on the field. Like, you get on the other side of 50 and it feels like you've got a shot, right? It's so weird to see someone kick from the other side of 50. But anyways, that's amazing. That's a good point and something that we have to consider. All right. But at the same time, last year, Badgley was 24 of 28. Well, at least between the 2 years that he was with the Lions, because Patterson played the first 13 games, then he was cut. Then he was cut because he didn't have a good leg. All right. Then you bring in Turner, who I think the dude missed 1 of the situational kicks in all of OTAs, in all of training camp. Meanwhile, Badgley missed plenty of them. But the question is, like, you're giving each of them equal amount of kicks. What's the point in even bringing him in? Because he clearly beat Badgley on OTAs. So do we keep 3 kickers going forward? Is it 2 kickers? Is it Badgley and Bates? Is it Bates and Turner? Like, are we happy going in with 2 just rookie kickers? I mean, you can say Bates had a season of professional kicking under him at the UFL, but that's a little bit different than the NFL. And yeah, sure, he was kicking at Ford Field when there were 47 people in the crowd. He's kicking to a net with nobody behind it. There's nobody chanting, nobody cheering, nobody waiting on bated breath. None of that stuff was happening. It's just him and his teammates. He may as well have been kicking it at practice. And I know that there's still a lot of pressure, and I know after he made the 64-yarder, he was saying ice water, he's got ice water in his veins, and all of that kind of stuff. But one must ask the question, like, is this organization's fatal flaw going to be the fact that they can't find a kicker, which traditionally has been this franchise's calling card, whether it was Eddie Murray or Jason Hansen, the GOAT. All right, Eddie Murray, Jason Hansen. You know it. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Jason Hansen. All right. So anyways, we've got these two guys, and then Prater comes in. And Prater, with the biggest leg in the NFL, very good kicker. We were so used to such good kickers for so long that when he would miss a field goal, we'd be like, what is this guy? Right? Like, I remember it. I remember it. I'm old enough to remember all of it. And so it's kind of hard to see, like maybe he comes in and he does exactly like whatever that kicker's name is for Dallas and he can't miss and it's a soccer star and everything looks easy. That's the hope. That's the goal. My thing is, if you're going to bring this guy in and you're going to give him a 2-year contract, you just got to let him be your kicker. You got to see it. You know what you have in Badgley. And what you have in Badgley is a guy that you can grab a kicker like this at any point during the regular season. You can go grab a Patterson. You can grab a Badgley. You can grab whatever the makeshift has been over the 3 years of this organization under Brad Holmes. You can go find that kicker. So you got to give Bates the opportunity. You need to give Bates the opportunity. I don't know how else to say it. I just think that's the way it's going to be. All right. I will say another thing. The Lions found their front office replacement for Brandon Sosna, and they have hired Charlie Adkins to be their new senior director of football administration. Hosa was hired as the Commanders' senior VP, very much earned. He was one of those guys that behind the scenes just did great things. It's a name that we don't know as Lions fans, like the standard fan, but if you talk to beat writers and things like that, it's huge. He was one of the lead points on contract negotiations and was undoubtedly big and important to those big 3 extensions this offseason. He will be missed. Charlie Adkins can come in and do a good job. He spent the last 7 years with the Cardinals. He was first hired as a football operations analyst, but jumped over to the analytics and research department where he spent the last 5 years. He'll be good. He'll be fine. All right. He will be fine. All right. So I'm excited about this. There's not a ton that you can do, but now he's making a jump into more of that front office role. Excited for him. Here's my question for you. How excited are you of the signing of our newest kicker? Do you have big hopes? Or are you like, all right, it's just another unproven guy, and that's not going to make the roster, and like life, death, and taxes, so will Badgley be our kicker eventually as long as Holmes and Campbell are in charge? You never know. By the way, if the Lions have been known for having a great kicker, but losing, and now we're known for having kicking struggles, but winning, I know which one I'm taking. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.